Okay, so I'm going to show us how to place a trade, add margin, calculate your profit, and adjust leverage if necessary in 5 times, starting with 5 times leverage. Okay, let's place a trade with of 2.2 USDT, right, at the current price. Let's make it 2.3, and then we buy. Okay, it won't allow us to do that. Can make it up to 2.9, and then we buy. Yes. Alright, so we've created a trade on USDT. I'm going to add margin. Instead of 0.2, I'm going to make it up to 0.8. I'll add 0.6, the remaining 0.6 that I didn't add previously. Okay, now the liquidation price has dropped to 0.0735 as compared to 0.3499, which is my entry price. If I calculate the percentage, alright, 0.0735 divided by 0.3499 times 100 is about 21% of my entry price. No coin is likely to drop that low suddenly. Okay, alright, to calculate my profit, click on close position, market. 3499 is my entry price. What I want is a 5% increase. That's what the strategy entails. Just a 5% increase in the price of the coin. If it's in 10 times leverage, that will give me 50% profit. If it's in 5 times leverage, that will give me 25% profit. And 10 times leverage, 50% profit. Okay, so all I need is a 5% increase in the price of the coin. Alright, that's 100% plus 5. Alright, divided by 100, that's multiply the price of the coin by 1.05. Alright, so for XRP, the entry price is 3499. So multiply by, or rather 0.3499. Alright, so 5% increase in that price will give 0.367395. I can round it up to 0.3674. Alright, so I place my order at, or I place my take profit at 0.3674. Alright, at that price I'll make a profit of 0.05 USDT out on my 0.2 USDT that I initially opened with. That's 25% profit. But if you compare that with the 0.8 USDT that I've added as margin altogether, then the profit is about 6.25%. But on what I actually used to buy and trade, which is 0.2, that's 25% profit. Alright, because it's 5 times leverage. And so I confirm, and the order is there. It's created. If it rises to 0.3674, even if I'm not there, it will sell. I'll come back and make my profit. And sometimes the price would have dropped again below that point. I can buy and sell again at a higher price. You see, sometimes it would have gone above that anyway. Alright, so let's assume that the price of XRP starts to drop and I'm worried and I need to okay, no, not like I'm worried, but I need to buy some more at a lower price. I don't buy when it's minus 20 or minus 40. I wait until it's minus 100, minus in 5 times level. I wait until it's minus 50%. That's at 10% below the entry price. That's what is consistent, and regardless of the leverage, 10% below the entry price. Entry price is 0.3499. 10% below the entry price is 100 minus 10, that's 90. Alright, divided by 100 as 0.9, so 0.9 times 0.3499. And I'm doing those calculations for your benefit. These are things I use every day, so I'm used to them. Alright, so 10% below the entry price is 0.3149. So I'm going to place a new order at 0.3149. I'll remove 0.2 from here, 1/4 of it, right? I use it to play a new order at 0.3149. Is it 3149? Yes, 3149. And so I can place an order for about 3.2. Alright, 3.1. That will give me 0.2 USDT exactly. So I placed that order. But unfortunately, because of the new rules, it says you can't place that kind of order, so it has to be a little bit more. So let's add something to it. Alright, so placed for 21 USDT or 0.1 USDT at that price. Okay, so if I come back, if it drops to that level, it will buy, and automatically my entry price will drop because I bought some at a cheaper price. My liquidation price will also change. All right, most times it will increase in this scenario. All right, and my profit percentage calculations and all that will change. All right, and the margin will change because what I've just bought now will be added to the margin. All right, now in 5 times leverage, I can afford to remove another 0.2 to place a second order. You see now the liquidation price has come up to 0.2123, which is about 60% of 0.3499. So I can place another order at 20% below the entry price or 70% below the entry price, or just place another order at just above the liquidation price. Of course, that will not be this liquidation price, but liquidation price after this new one has been bought, and the new liquidation price, the new entry price is there, the new liquidation price is there. I can place above that liquidation price, or I can simply place at 80% of the initial value. That's 28 after a 20% drop, or 30%, or a 30% drop, and I calculate. Alright, so if I'm going to place at 20% below the entry price, that's at 80% to be 0.8 times 0.349, and that's 0.2799. I can place another order there, and okay, so I can do that and add something to it. Okay, so I buy. My concern is not the number of ripple I'm buying, but the amount of USD I'm using to buy. For some coins to be the number, because maybe you can only buy whole numbers. Alright, so I'll buy at that price, and then another has been created. So at 0.3149, some will be bought, at 0.2799, some will be bought. Alright, now the liquidation price has gone up to 0.2123, and by the time those two are bought, the liquidation price will change. Alright, and so if it's only if it comes down that low that liquidation will occur, but that will not usually happen, and even if it does happen, it won't happen for all the coins at the same time. Alright, so usually some coins and the others will balance for that over time. That's 1. 2, usually there'll be an opportunity for you to close trade before it drops that low, because even when it's dropping, it rises before it drops again, and then it rises before it drops again. Alright, so let's say it drops to 0.3149 and it buys. My entry price will change, therefore the price at which I can close and break even, or I can close with a small profit, or at which I can close with 50% profit, or at which I can close with a very small profit like 5% profit, or close with a small loss, that price will come down. So I can close once there's a little spike in the price before the next drop. I can close and I'm gone, or I can enter again at a lower price, as the case may be. And then even if that doesn't happen, if it drops to 3149 and then continues dropping till it gets to 2799 without rising high enough for me to exit the trade safely, or at least exit the trade without much loss or with a little profit, if it drops to 0.2799 and buys, at some point it will spike. All right, more often than not, at some point it will spike. So that's why I still need to check back and see, has my order been filled, because once it's filled, I need to come back here. The entry price would have changed, the liquidation price would have changed, and the percentages would have changed and all that. I need to close position and create a new order that is 1.05 times whatever the new entry price is. Let's say that the new entry price is 3250. All right, so after I bought some at 3499 and I bought some at 3149, now the combination of the two, the average price is 3250. That will be the new, if that, I'm just using that as an example, I didn't calculate that. All right, that will be the new entry price. So the new level at which I want to sell will be 3250 times 1.05, that's 3412.5. If you look at 3412.5, it's lower than where I even started from, so I can close in profit at a lower level. So I can put that there, 3412. So, but if I do that now, that will be a loss. But when it has bought at a lower level, I can close at that price in profit. All right, and then if the price keeps dropping and then it comes to a point that I feel, yes, the market is now very good, the prices are so low, I can afford to use 10 times leverage, I can adjust leverage here. I can increase it to 6, I can increase it to 7, I can increase it to 8 or 9 or 10, confirm, and then remove out of the margin that was there before and use it to buy some new coins at the lower level. That's when increasing the margin actually has an effect and makes sense. So I may remove all of it. Use some to do other things, but I can also use some to buy some more of this coin at the new low level. All right, that's if it's indeed low. Let me use XFLM there as an example. Alright, so for FLM it's at 5 times and the price is low, but it's not low enough for me to do this anyway. But let's say assume it's low enough, I increase to 10 times leverage, and then I remove all the margin I can remove, 0.79. Okay, so I know at 10 times leverage I've used 0.19 USDT to buy 5 FLM. Now I want to buy some more at that new cheap rate or low level, so I can buy some more from here, use the amount I've removed to buy some more by 10, and then it's added. Now before I buy some more at a lower price, look at the entry price, 0.29. If I buy some more at 0.282, the entry price is going to drop from 0.29 and to become 0.2846. That's made a significant impact because I bought a larger amount at a lower price, and now I can afford to close in profit at a lower price than I could before. Alright, so that's the advantage of starting with a lower leverage and increasing if necessary. Alright, so especially when the prices are high. 246 times 1.05, that's 299. Okay, so I can come back here and set a new profit level at 2988. And confirm. Alright, so that's how to change those parameters. But here, having used that much to buy 0.48, I need to add extra margin. Alright, also 0.48 times 3, that'll be 1.44. Alright, before I can say that I've created the kinds of conditions of 10 times leverage. And so from here onwards, I can adjust as required. But let's assume that all I have is that amount that I initially removed. I will not use all of it to buy. Alright, I want to make sure I can still add up to 1.16. Alright, I've made it back up to 1.16 and my liquidation price has reduced to 0.2088. Alright, so those are the kinds of adjustments I can make. But once I come up to 10 times leverage, I cannot go back to 9 times or to 5 times, no matter what's happening in the market. I would have to first of all close that trade before I can adjust leverage. Let me do that with XRP. I want to adjust leverage, it says no. Alright, but if I close that trade, I can create another one and reduce the leverage this time. So here I can now see that I can reduce my leverage to 5 if I want to, and then buy at that reduced leverage. So those are the possibilities. And of course, in 10 times leverage, if I I created a new order there at 2988. The percentage profit this time has increased. All right, 2988. Let me see, that's 0.21 USDT on something that I opened with about 0.48 or so. Okay, if it says what it said just now, just check your open orders. There's likely an open order that contradicts that one that you're trying to create, and this is it. Once I cancel that, I can create this or do essentially the same thing, so there's no need to cancel it except for the purpose of this lecture. All right.